a young, I guess he was still a Mountie in training at that time, right?
He was just out of training.
Just out of training. Could not find out how old Grandma was for a year. She would not tell him. So when she finally turned 17, she fessed up and admitted that she was underage for at least a year. And 3 years later, the two of them got married. So aside from being, you know, a wonderful mother, grandmother, Gigi, wife, etc., she's an amazing lady, there's no doubt about it, but there's other things here that I think you need to know. Mom was a very athletic individual. A lot of you might not realize that, but it really is, it's a true story. And
She still is.
well, yeah, because she can get up and down the stairs.
No, because she goes to exercise.
Well, and there you go, she goes to Aquaside. So she has maintained that athleticism for 80 years now. But I can remember at a fairly young age, and I don't remember exactly how old I was, but you know, all the boys in the family were pretty good athletes at one time. I like to think that, you know, I could hit a volleyball every once in a while, but it's getting slower and slower. But anyway, at one time I used to be a pretty good pitcher, and I was in the backyard, and I think I was playing catch with probably Dean, and he had to leave for whatever reason. I was practicing my pitching, and I had a good arm. I could fire that ball pretty well. Dean had to leave. I was waiting for Dad to get home. I was getting a little upset. And all of a sudden, do you even remember this?
Mm-hmm.
Mom came trucking out to the backyard, and I think at the time, remember that photo that I sent out to everybody with that pink frilly thing in her hair? I think she had that thing in her hair with some curlers underneath. But anyway, she comes out to the backyard, and she's wearing Dean's glove, and she goes and she gets down in a catcher's position. I'm like, what are you doing? She said, you need to practice your pitch and throw it at me. I can't do that. She's like, no, come on. She said, I can catch, throw it at me. So I get in my wind up and I look down at her and I lob one in there. She comes back, she goes, is that how you're gonna pitch in a game? And I said, well, no, but if I one hop one, she said, Craig, just rear back and throw that ball. So I got back and I fired back, and I fired one in there, and stuffed it. It was like, wow. And then she threw it back at me. It was like, holy shit. Fires it back, and I fired another one in there, and she snags it, and she threw it. I didn't even think she could throw. But her and I sat in the backyard, and we played catch, and I was firing missiles at her. It felt like missiles. What was that, 12? It had to be missiles. It felt pretty good. But anyway, what a true, I couldn't believe it. That was pretty amazing. I had no idea she could do that. This is a story we've told before, and all the boys know it very well, but you know, we were all, we loved camping, we were big campers, and this is a story about never get on the wrong side of Mom, Pat, Grandma, Gigi, whatever. Because she has got a really ugly side to her. She really does. So we're driving down a highway, and as we always did, we had our boat loaded behind us. We had our boat loaded with a whole pile of stuff behind us, and we're heading down the highway. The three boys are in the back seat, Mom and Dad are in the front. I think Dad was eating sunflower seeds or something like that. Anyway, there's an oncoming vehicle coming towards us, and lo and behold, at the last second, some idiot in the back seat or whatever has an empty beer bottle and fires the empty beer bottle, hits the headlight of our car and knocks our headlight out. Dad pulls over real quick, he runs around to the front, takes a look, and he said, son of a guns, he said, knock the headlight out, everybody buckle up, and does a U-turn. We've got a 2,500-pound boat with 6,000 pounds of equipment in it, and he wheels around in the middle of the highway, and we're chasing down this vehicle, literally. So Dad calmly reaches into his pocket, and he pulls out the wallet, and he said, Pat, he said, pull up my badge. And Mom was just sitting there and she's shaking like crazy. But she reaches into that wallet, she pulls up the badge, and Dad is doing Mach 100 down the highway. The car's in our sights, he pulls up beside the car. Mom starts wheeling down that window, and she is out that window. We're doing 100 miles an hour, and she is screaming at these guys. And Dad's sitting there like, Pat, get back in the car, like, settle down. She was ready to jump out at that point and just rip people apart. So, honestly, don't ever get the lady upset, because it can be disastrous.
Just a little. No, not Greg.
One of my most embarrassing moments, actually, it's, I look back and it's one of my proudest moments. But at the time, have any of you ever had to go to school with your mother? It is tough. Let me tell you, it's tough. And I think it was grade 11 Nipawin. You decided to be the big shot. You were going to go back to school and learn all these great things for your new career out in the business world. And Mom was up, she was up every night and studying. And Dean, I think you were in the middle school in Nipawin, so I don't think you were.
He was there when weren't you there when I was there?
For the graduations and whatnot?
Yeah, one year he
Oh.
was.
Were you there for the graduation? Yep. Anyway, to make a long story short, so we're going to school together.
Wait, you mean like you went to school together?
Went to school together. I'm in grade 11, and Mom's in grade 53. We're going to school together. She's taking a business course. So anyway, at the end of the school, they have a big awards ceremony. And the awards ceremony was really quite unique because they honor, athletics and scholastics and all this type of stuff. How many times were you called up to stage? At least 3 that I can recall. So every time there was a scholastic award to be handed out, and the winner would be Patricia Hoover. Patricia would go walking up there, and meanwhile, all my peers are sitting in the audience going, your mother is so much smarter than you. It was just constant in the crowd. And she was up and down, and up and down. Anyway, proud moment, but at the time, I could have crawled under a rock.
You didn't tell him that you and Dean got all the awards for sports, though.
This is your day, not So anyway, Mom has always been an outdoorsman as well, and it was, Mom and Dad's passion that got us going on the camping trips and whatnot. I think she even taught you how to fish, did she not, Lynn? And I'm not sure the two of you were fishing or suntanning, but anyway, the two of you go out there. Yeah. Were you baiting your own hooks? Were you?
Oh, never.
Never baiting. So then I'm not sure you were. I don't know what she taught you then. But anyway, but Mom was
laying the boat and fish.
Laying the boat and fish.
Mom was honestly one of the best fishermen in the family for sure, and we'd, every summer. My greatest memories growing up, and I've got a lot of great memories, but certainly is being together as a family. And the reason that Dean and Tim and I wanted to put this together was because every summer we would get together with our yellow and green striped tents, and Mom and Dad. Now, everybody's asking me who the bakers are. If the bakers would have done their job, they would have done this right. So, Mom and Dad always had the big 8x8 or 10x10 tent.
9x12.
It was a 9x12 tent for the two of them. The eating tent was also a 9x12. And then the boys had the little 6x6 pup tent, that we slept in. But anyway, whenever the Hoovers showed up at a campground, we had a colony. The 3 tents would go up. They were all matching. We had the campfires, we had the boat, we had the fish, we had everything. And whether it was raining or sunshine or whatever, we just had the best time growing up. And thank you so much. It was so amazing. And anyway, so this is just a small tribute to that. So congratulations on 80 years young, and I agree wholeheartedly with Bob. Many more months and years to come. We're looking for it. You look amazing. The last time my mom and I went to Safeway, they asked if my wife would like, to get the apple. I'm not sure if I really. I guess I should be happy for my mother, but gosh, am I ever depressed? I just feel like, anyway. So thank you for everything, and with that, we do need to sing happy birthday. We happen to have a couple candles hiding over here.